finally made it, girl. Thank you so much for bearing with me. We have been at this for 5 days trying to record this conversation, which means it's going to be legendary. Okay. So, first of all, thank you so much for even agreeing to do this. We got, like I said, an
Of course.
opportunity to chat earlier this week, and I got a chance to learn a little more about you. But we had some technical difficulties. But now that that's all squared away, I'm excited to kind of go over
Yes,
some
yes.
and see what maybe have changed after you've had a little bit of opportunity to kind of think about your answers, and of course share all that goodness with everybody here. So
Of
again,
course.
thank you so much. How is your day today?
Everything's going well. So got through the week. I'm a fourth grade teacher. So it's been a long, long week. Every week feels long, but we always make it. So we're here. I have an event today, this evening. I am a part of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So we have an event for our chapter this evening. So yeah, excited to kind of enjoy the weekend, but we're here.
So you're balancing all of that, like your hobbies and your organizations, along with like your day job with teaching. You're balancing all that with being a brand new IFBB pro. Congratulations again. We're going to talk a little
Yeah.
bit about how you got to that point. And I think, what you were sharing with me earlier this week was kind of your journey. So just real quick, how many years have you been training?
Oh, training specifically for bodybuilding. I've been
Yeah.
training since 2019.
Yeah. But before
2019.
that, you were telling me before that you like have always been active and have always been an athlete. You started running track, what, in like middle school, high school, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
ran
So I
all the
started
way
running
through.
track.
Yeah.
I did club track. I did club track as like in the youth ages, elementary age, but it wasn't until like middle school where I started to realize like my potential and I was good and all that good stuff. So yeah, I have some background in track and field, basketball, and a little bit of soccer.
So track
So
is very near and dear to my heart because I used to run too. What events did you do?
So all the way up until college, I've done like all the sprints from all the way from the 100-meter dash all the way up to the 400. But I pretty much specialized in the 200, the relays, high jump, and long jump.
Okay, so you're a sprinter. And that takes a
Mm-hmm.
lot of power and a lot of force. So that says a lot about like having that lower body development and kind of understanding
Mm-hmm.
what powerful legs look like, right? So
Absolutely.
that's amazing. And you said that you actually ran track in college too, right?
Yes, yes. So I attended Temple University from 2006 to 2010. And honestly, Sig Gillian, she was down the street from me at Penn. I'm a little older, but she was right down the street at Penn. So got some
Wow.
track natives in the bodybuilding community. So
That's incredible. That's incredible, man. And it's kind of amazing to watch, how the industry is connected and what threads and how we're all like kind of 6 degrees away from very
right.
similar or parallel kind of storylines. And so I always, for me, I always feel like people kind of get into bodybuilding because of some sort of trauma, but that's not your story. Like you were sharing with me how you discovered bodybuilding. It was really through a relative. Tell me a little bit
Yeah.
more about
Absolutely. So my cousin, he was in bodybuilding, and he had just moved to Orlando and he was opening up his gym. So it was kind of like the grand opening. And then he invited family and friends down to also attend, while at the same time attending the grand opening, attend his bodybuilding show. So, we're all there in the crowd. We have our t-shirts, we're cheering him on. And I'm just in the crowd, just amazed at all the physiques and, how everyone looks and their presentations on stage. And I'd say by the time I got back home from that weekend in Orlando, he was like, you should do it. He was like, you already have, that athletic background. You're already in the gym. He was like, it's just going to be a slight change in, how you work out and so forth. And there would be a meal plan, X, Y, and Z. So from there, that's pretty much how I arrived here.
that. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. And so then you train for a little bit, what, like a year or so, and then you do your first show
Right.
in the NPC.
Yes.
And we flash forward several years later. But if you think back to your NPC self, what was that like for you? And what advice would you give yourself today?
Honestly, just have fun. Don't be so harsh on yourself. Don't be so critical. You have a coach, and your coach is your eyes. My first year competing, it was just, I didn't know what the expectations were. So I was just, checking in, eating the food, checking all the boxes. Once you realize the expectations and what it is, that's when you start getting critical. I noticed like how I started, viewing my check-ins a little bit more, critiquing them a little bit harder, like, oh, I look fluffy, I don't look ready, blah, blah, blah. When I first started competing, I didn't know what it looked like to be ready.
Right.
So I didn't have that chance to be so critical on myself. So, me as an NPC athlete, you have your coach for a reason. They're your eyes. They're the ones that can tell you whether you're ready or you're not. And they're not going to put you on stage if you're not ready.
So a good coach, let's be clear, a good coach
yes,
won't put you
that part.
on stage unless you're ready. If they care about if they care about their legacy and they care about what they're doing, and if they care about you, they do that. So now fast forward, like I said, a few years later, like we know we eat the food, we do the workouts, we train, and then you get to the point where you have to make a decision, right? Like you might win a couple shows and then you're close, but then if I just go one more, right? So tell me a little bit about that part of your journey, like maybe the last 2 or 3 shows right before you went pro. What was your mindset like, and what kept you going?
So the end of last year was when I started prep, December, pretty much kind of like around Olympia time. We started early. Normally we started prep, in January. So started prep just a little bit early. At that time, I was also, planning my wedding, and my coach asked me, do we want to prep? What do we want to do? What do you want to do? So I suggested, let's just prep, let's get through. And she agreed. She was like, let's prep, and let's see what happens. We know we have wedding, we know we have X, Y, and Z going on. That comes first. That is your personal life. It's a big part of my life, and that was first and foremost. So we just we went through the prep, and leading up to, I'd say about, my wedding was in May, I was ready. Like, wedding day was show day.
Wow.
So my first show of this, leading up to my pro card win, I competed in June. So that first show, I knew it was going to be an amazing season because, one, I was ready ahead of time. And in my previous seasons, I wasn't always this much ready. So knowing that we could reverse into the show was kind of like a good thing for me, especially being tall, being, my physique, I'm very, tiny waist, all that. So it can be easy for me to look stringy. So feeding into a show allowed me to come into shows nice and full. So I kind of had that burden off my shoulders. I knew I was already in a good position. All I had to do was just show up, pose, do my thing. So my first
let me stop you. So that's really interesting because, I've been competing since 2021, and I've noticed that is always my trajectory, right? Where I have to like get super lean, and I'm doing everything to get the fat off. And I think it is it's something to be said about starting early and going slow, and, really working on that conditioning, and, being in a place where that is not the obstacle. So I think that says a lot about like your dedication in that off season, and like your dedication during prep to be able to have, because I think this is the first time I've ever heard that, where, it's, you're working to just stay full and get full and not like have to shred out.
And that's another thing that kind of changed, like my, being in the NPC, like coming in early, I always thought, you got to be super shredded. Obviously, criteria has changed, things have changed over time. But yes, knowing that, I can feed into the show, feel comfortable with, the stage weight that I am bringing. Honestly, we were just dropping, like once like April hit, I was just dropping. So just trying to like keep up with that. Once your metabolism, is firing that way, your job is to stay full,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So you had the wedding. I gotta ask, did you get a piece of cake at least?
I did get a piece of cake. I woke up next day after my wedding dropping weight.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so, like there was a lot going on. But wedding day was amazing. I did get a piece of cake and some. And
Good. Good.
right after that, we were right on track. So
Good.
we're cruising into shows, and that good momentum from show to show was a good sign. A good sign.
So saying that, like, hey, I knew I was going to be ready because earlier in the season I was ready, well before the show, and you got all these indicators that are showing that your metabolism and your body is ready to do the work, and then for you to be able to still enjoy family time and enjoy those life-changing moments and still be able to do this again, that's another indicator of a pro mindset. Because I
Yeah.
think a lot of times, when we have, big life events, it might throw us off track, or now we have to do something around that. But you were able to
Right.
incorporate that and still be able to enjoy that and have that. So we'll talk a little bit in a minute about pro mindset, but you can kind of see like how the mind, kind of changes. So now tell me about that show day. Like that, because we know you went up for a couple of national shows. I think you said 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That season where you were right there, like top 3, 1, 2, 3, going back and forth. And then you say, okay, let me give it one more shot. What was that like when you hit the stage that day?
That day, honestly, it was honestly perfect. I felt a sense of calmness. But at the same time, it was like go for yours, go for yours. And it was awesome because I was able to turn pro with my I'm losing track of words. I was able to turn pro with my teammate, Amber. Very, very amazing individual. And to go pro literally 1 and 2, when we first started with the same coach that we have, we both went 1 and 2 at our first show together. To end our MPC career together 1 and 2, and we started.
Wow. I
It
didn't
was
know
a
that.
it was a pretty awesome moment. But like I said, I went into it with a sense of calmness, and at that, once you get to that level, you have the mindset of you're bringing your best. Yes, we all bring our best. And at that time, it was like, what are the judges going to like today? But like I said, I had great steam going into the show. Was I totally 100% sure that I was going to walk away with my pro card? No. But I was 100% sure that I was going to be in that top call out and top 3. Where I would land, it was up to the judges and what they were looking for. How did I look against these other females who I did not compete at my previous show, national show with? So it was only a matter of time. Mentally, I was like, oh, this needs to be it. I don't know if I can make it all the way up till now, or what was the end of June. And then, the next national show would have been now around this time, in about 20 days on the national show out in Texas. I'm like, I don't know. I can get through the whole year prepping. So just going into it, like I said, I just felt a sense of calmness, just knowing that, accepting, God's plan and what he had for me that day. So.
Do you remember the song that you posed to during your like individual comparisons, or you don't remember? No, she's like, I didn't even hear no music. I was songs in my head that said winner.
Yeah, I totally zone out. I focus on the judges, making sure that, I'm nailing and hitting each pose that, I've practiced for who knows how many days and hours. But I kind of just zone out. All I see is lights, and I hear the people in the crowd. Other than that, I can't remember what song.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's so amazing. Congratulations again. And so now you are, you're a pro now. But tell me, like, what really changes after you get your pro card? Like it, and honestly, it's amazing. It's a huge feat. Like, of course, I think they say something like 1 or 2% of the population even attempt this stuff. And then a half a percentage of those people actually go pro. So, you've got your card, and then literally the next day is back to work, right? But like, what else? What changes now that you're a pro? Like, what has changed for you?
I feel like, my mindset just leveled up a bit. As far as like training, we're still training with intent. We're training with, the intensity. I just say my mindset just shifted a little bit, knowing that, you're kind of starting, at the bottom again, but at another level. So, give yourself grace, but, you're a pro for a reason. They chose you for a reason. They like you. You belong there. Now just make your mark. So just the mindset of, you're at another level. You're at the bottom. Now you got to climb back up.
Yeah.
I'm on a higher level. So I got to level
Yeah.
up.
Well, listen, look, you reach back and pull a couple of us up there with you, because we all want it, but we're just so proud of you. And, on behalf of all the brown girls out there, it's just incredible to be able to see you guys do this stuff, man, because it really gives like old ladies like me like a ton of hope and, just something to go after and something to support. And, there's more of us that are doing it. And it's just, it's a lifestyle, but it's healthy and it's positive and it's strong. And, it's just really something to be celebrated and applauded. So we can't give you your flowers enough right now, because like I said, to watch you and Amber go 1 and 2 on that day, that was historic and just incredible for the industry. And so congratulations again. So, all right. All of that stuff is out the way, right? But you know me, and I'm a little different. You know what I mean? I like to spice things up. I call it edutainment. So we got to talk about, again, what is the top song on your playlist right now? Like, what are you using right now as you kind of get in that next headspace? You like go after that next level as you go for your pro debut. What song is pumping you up right now?
I have Drake back to back. Honestly, anything Young Dolph. I like his one song, Preach. Just the beat goes hard.
Hey.
And the one song, what is it? Left, do it right, do it.
Yeah.
Right,
okay.
That's on headphones during workouts and training. But yeah, anything Young Dolph, Jay-Z. I'm a big Jay-Z fan.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're kind of like we were talking earlier this week about you get one song and then you just hear it, you just play it over and over sometimes.
Over and over.
That's me. So right now for me, it's like No Statements by Scarlett or This Is New York by Scarlett. I'm not even from New York. I think I've been there once for like half a day. But when I tell you it's her grit, right? And you think about her story, like I love her music right now. So shout out to Scarlett. But yeah, so okay. And also got to tackle a food question. So what are we sleeping on? What do we need to add to our regimen? What we need to be snacking on?
Right. I'm a big foodie, which I feel like we all are. We're just foodies. We love food. But one thing that, I really loved and was into post-season was, trying the different crumble cookies that come out from week to week. And then you realize, what's all in there. And it's just like, you want to fuel your body.
Right.
So I kind of just put my own twist on, what I call an oat bake, which some people I'm sure are familiar with. It's just, baking your oats, egg. I'll throw a banana in there, a little bit of yogurt. I'll top it with chocolate chips on the top. When it comes out the oven, I'll even, put a little spray butter on it, sprinkle, some syrup on there. And honestly, it just tastes like a chocolate chip cookie. So amazing. I am
definitely gonna try this and put this recipe to the test. So give it to us again. You said it's gonna be oats.
It's oats. You have your egg, a little bit of yogurt to give it some texture. I like to add protein powder in there a little bit. Did I say a banana?
No.
You need your banana in there. If you want the banana in there, I feel like it gives it good texture, nice volume to it. And then you mix all those ingredients up. You can add your baking powder, baking soda, the baking necessities. And then, a little bit of olive oil or coconut oil, whichever you prefer, just a little bit. And then mix it all up and then top it with semi-chocolate chips. And then you put it in the oven for about, I'd say, no longer than 10 minutes. You can kind of see the top if it's, nice and cooked, or it still might be, watery at the top. Just cook it till, like you would bake any other type of cookie. And then, yeah, there's your oat bake. It's so good, so good, so good.
It sounds delicious. So do you put it in like on a cookie shape and like in little balls like cookies, or do you put it in a cake pan or muffin
So like
tin?
a small glass dish.
Okay.
That you could serve like a little, like you could put them in like loaf cake dishes.
Oh,
You
like
could
square.
put
You
it
could
in
do squares or something.
a ramekin, whatever you want to put it in. But yeah, mine is kind of like a square glass dish. One serving. Yeah, it's yummy.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm definitely gonna try that and tag you and let you know how it goes. So yeah, oh, this is incredible. Thank you so much for that. All
It's
right,
so good.
and what's your catchphrase? Like when you think about like, your affirmation or something that you tell yourself often, like what's one catchphrase that your mantra?
Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Wow.
We're given the strength, we're given the power. And we just gotta do what we need to do. We have all the tools we need, all the necessities are already there. A lot of times we get in our head with a lot of things, but I always remember Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So.
That's incredible. That is incredible and extremely faithful. So thank you. Thank you for, because we, again, like, we always have to give the glory where it's due. So yeah,
Absolutely.
we have to. All right. So now we're going to try this again. We tried to play this other day because like I said,
Yeah.
I ain't going to be able to stand on stage with you ever, but I am going to be able to kick your butt in some rock, paper, scissors.
Never say never.
Well, listen, it's, well, the jury's out on that one. But in the meantime, you up for it? Rock, paper, scissors.
Yep. Here we go.
All right, you ready? All right. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, shoot. You ready? Okay. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. One more round. Come on. 1, 2, 3, go. You still kick my butt. All right, 2 out of 3. Come on. That's 2 out of 3.
Here we go.
All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh,
well, all right. Well, cool. Thank you so much for your graciousness and your willing to do this and letting us kind of get inside of you a little bit and understand more about you. Because like I said, there's so much personality and so much that we don't know behind the physique. And I think it's just important to celebrate, all of the different layers of you guys, because you guys are, you guys are pros and, showing us how it should be done. So thank you so much.
It's surreal sometimes. I'm like, pro, what?
Yes, pro. That's right. Get it right.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And we will follow you. And I know we're going to be talking again after you secure, your top placements next year. We can't wait to see you hit the stage. Congratulations again. And good luck to you.
All right. See ya.